Hi everyone, my name is Amy Osmulski. I'm a fourth-year business student at Lakehead University, majoring in human resources management and industrial relations. I chose to go to Lakehead for a couple of reasons. One is I do live in Thunderbday, so I didn't plan to move. Second is Lakehead's like pretty well known for having small class sizes and you get to know people and it's a little bit more collaborative in that way. And one thing about Lakehead University too is the location. So if you're someone who loves the outdoors, like hiking, camping, just getting outside, Lakehead's the school for you because doing all that is not far away. In the business program, there's lots of group work, lectures based off of readings or cases that you may have read and then bring to class. Group work may not feel as important at the beginning, but in the long run, it is helping you. And it does lead up to your fourth year when you do the capstone project where you're put in groups with people from different majors and you have to work collectively towards one major project. I find it's not very consistent with the pace of learning because it completely varies to you and how you learn and what your habits are. So for studying, I found color coding was very helpful for me. And when I was trying to remember writing a test, or I would be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember I wrote about this whole section in red. It would just help me remember. And also when it came to like graphs or drawing diagrams to help me personally understand like a process of something or the way something works, color coding those would help. If I'm trying to remember a process, come up with acronyms. As my university career went on, Google Drive was more prominent, and I absolutely love the voice typing tool, whether I'm writing notes or wanting to write down what a professor is saying in a lecture. Super great tool. The first 2 years are very general. You get exposed to everything. They're mostly all mandatory credits. You get a couple of electives. And then after those 2 years, you start to really get into your major. You declare your major. And that is where I forget when it was I declared my major. It might have been end of second year, but I knew, okay, I want to do human resources. And then after second year, my classes were all mainly focused around human resources, aside from the mandatory ones. And I was also keeping in mind the courses needed to get my HR designation after I graduate. You can also minor in something. I chose not to, it just didn't make sense for me to, but I have some accounting friends minoring in finance, some people HR majors minor in marketing. It's incredibly important to be open-minded. For example, I went in thinking I was going to major in accounting, and after the first year class, the second year class, I decided, you know what, this isn't my thing, and that's fine. I found other things that interested me, and I went with that. So do your best when you're leaving high school at the end of your high school career, because just because you're almost done, it doesn't mean you still should work hard, because there's so many scholarship opportunities. Lakehead has, I think they give over $1 million worth of scholarships and bursaries. So like take advantage of that and don't give up on your marks, because those could help you get free money basically. In first year, we all had to take a statistics class, which is somewhat similar to a data management class if you had to take that in high school. So you kind of have that foundation going in. So if you're in, say, grade 11, maybe keep that in mind for when you're going into grade 12. Or for example, financial accounting is a class that's mandatory in first year. And I had at my school high school accounting, so I found that I was a little bit ahead in understanding some of the basic concepts than some of my other classmates were. It's hard to say what courses are hard and easy, because I don't know what could be easy for me might be hard for someone else. All of the classes are beneficial in their own way, whether it helped you learn how to research, or it helped you learn how to write better or present better, or anything like that. So they all do have their own benefits. In regard to course registration, one thing with that is I don't know if it's changed much now, but I know that when I was registering for my classes just before first year, I didn't think too much about how to plan out my schedule, just because I had to take the required courses, and if that meant I was going to have a busy schedule, like there was nothing I could really do about that. So depending on your major that you decide to pursue, the job would vary. So for example, in HR, yes, I can get my designation, but there's other routes like project management. I would take a project management class if I felt that was what I would pursue after, or health and safety, looking into what you can do with health and safety after you graduate. And for my friends in accounting, they start those entry-level jobs at accounting firms that are meant like for the summer, or some of them did part-time during the school year and in full-time in the summer. I would just say looking into getting jobs like that the best you can, be actively seeking so you can secure that, because it does get your foot in the door and will help you out post-graduation, of course. I found that this program really encourages and focuses on the CPA, which is the Chartered Professional Accounting designation. I find that they don't necessarily focus as much on other areas to go into for a job. And Lakehead, they like to ensure, that their students are informed about resources. I'm constantly getting helpful emails of opportunities, whether it's job, internships, co-ops, volunteer opportunities, just seminars to attend. I do recommend taking advantage of those. It doesn't require much effort to sit on in a Zoom, or back when we were in person, walking to the Agora, like a communal area, and they'd have like job fairs there, like just walking down there and networking. For someone who doesn't live in residence, it's still great. I absolutely loved going to the library and having study groups with my friends, or having friends who just finished classes or going to get a bite to eat. There's a bar on campus called the Outpost. Take a look at the clubs, Lusu clubs, and join one if you have the time, of course. You don't stress yourself out because you want to get extracurriculars, but it will benefit you. You'll meet people. And I was involved in a club called the Rotaract Club at LU. If you've ever heard of Rotary, it's almost like a division of that, but for young adults. And I met some people through that club, which was awesome. It was a bit different for me. I did have some people from high school I knew that went in because we live here, but I just find everyone in the business program, you just get to know people just from class discussions, or I've made some friends from group work. Like it seems a little bit more effortless because you don't have to reach out as much, but you can, and there is people that do. So there's a lot of things that Lakehead does, and I've even noticed it more so with the pandemic going on, just through their social medias, which I recommend checking out because they post a lot on there, whether it's financial, mental health, physical wellness. Like I know for me right now, even though it's on Zoom, there is a nutritionist that the health and wellness is working with, and she's been doing these little 1-hour sessions with us for 3 weeks on Tuesdays. And we learn what's healthy foods, how to meal prep properly, cooking, things about cooking, and there's supports for everything. And if you reach out, they will direct you somewhere to bring your inquiry, and you just take advantage of what your needs are and what would work for you specifically. One would be, it's okay to do your own thing. And what I mean by that is you don't have to follow the crowd. If you really don't enjoy something, don't force yourself to do it. That was me with accounting. And that being said, I'm really happy I just did my own thing and went with what I felt was good for me specifically. And take advantage of apps where you can scan your notes. So if you prefer to handwrite notes, you can scan them and then put them on your computer so you have everything in the same place. And in regard to spending money on things like, say, a textbook, I wish I did tell myself a couple times that if you feel like you can't afford a textbook, try reaching out to the professor or seeing if a different edition would work for you. There's other ways around that. I know lots of people would use different editions of the textbook so they didn't have to buy the brand new one, because some books are really expensive. Or this year I had some classes where I just felt I may not need the textbook, and the professor would say the textbook's complimentary. So if you find that you wouldn't need it, then maybe don't beat yourself up to buy it. In regard to self-care and my mental health in first and second year, it's okay to struggle a little bit, and it's okay to ask for help, and that you don't look stupid just because you're asking a question. I'm someone who asks a million questions, and I'll ask questions in class all the time if that's what it takes for me to understand something. You know, I understand, like, I'm a very anxious person too, but when it comes to my education, you are paying for it, right? So it's important to get the most out of it, and if that means reaching out or speaking up about something or wanting more clarification, do that. It's okay. So if you are looking to go to the business program at Lakehead, I wish you luck. I had a great time. It went by very fast, so enjoy every minute while you can. And feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or on anything if you have questions about anything. And that's all. So thank you.